Okay. So yesterday we talked about the notification, how we can go for different type of notification, right? So correspondence and how we can use the send email step, or how we can use the notify step of the activity. So that's how we want to communicate with the user. Okay. So today we'll see the SLA. Okay. What is SLA? Okay. And where all you can provide the SLAs. Okay. So what is SLA? SLA is nothing but your like, see, anytime if we say like the training, right? Actually our training. So every day it's actually like it should be completed within 2 months, right? So it's like we have defined our time period. So it will take 35 hours to 40 hours to complete the course. But so that should be. So that's actually like you can say that's the ideal time to complete that. But sometimes due to something we are not able to do that. So the maximum time to complete that, okay, will take 2 months, 2 weeks to complete the course. Okay. And after that, if you are not, see, actually like if something happened and actually we are not able to complete in 2 hours, 2 months and 2 weeks also. So its deadline also got raised. Okay. So that's actually in PEGA also we have three type of SLA. We call it as goal, deadline, and past deadline. Okay. So goal is your should be time. Like it should be done within that time period. Like it should be done. It can be done within that. So if you've done it fine, so that's actually your goal time. Okay. And maximum time to complete that, like if there is any dependency or anything, right? If it need to be routed to multiple person, so there will be dependency, right? So in that times, like you need some information, so that time you need to go there and get the information. So that will take some extra time for that. So that time it may take from the longer time from the normal time. So that's you're the maximum time to complete the test. We can say that that's the deadline. Okay. So once you have got the deadline and you're not able to do in the deadline, so that can be we can go with past deadline. Okay. So how we can going to see that? Okay. So normally in PEGA we can define SLA in different level. We can define that into the complete case level. We can define that in the stage level. We can define that into the process level, and we can also define that in individual assignment level also. So currently in PEGA there is 4 level we can define SLAs now. In earlier version it was only 2 version. Okay, it is just a flow and the assignment. Earlier version it was not that. So now they have changed it. So initially they have introduced in multiple level of SLAs. So now you can have at the case level. So if you go to the case, see, I like that the case label, goal and deadline. Okay, so if you want to consider the SLA for the case label, you can do it here. So let's say it's like purchase. Okay, purchase actually like demand, the case need to be solved anytime between 5 to 7 days. Okay, so that we can define the goal and deadline. Okay, so once actually you have done that, it will create a SLA rule for you at the case level. With SLA, like if you say, yeah, one more thing, like if your goal is breached or your deadline is breached, what extra action you are going to do, right? So that's the time, okay, you have done you have not done goal, you have not done then in deadline, right? So what you want to do in that time? So how will you get to know for that item goal is braced, for this item deadline is braced, so that you want to prioritize the task for that, right? So Pega has one more value which we call as urgency. Okay, that is varies from 0 to 100. So in that, actually what we can do is, actually, like if goal is braced, we want to increase that by like any number. Then in deadline, also braced, we want to increase the urgency. Okay, and past deadline can be recurring. Actually, like you can give it multiple times. So if you say like every 1 day after that, you want to send an email that why it was not done. Okay, so that I'll show you. So this is at the case label. So I'll show you open SLA rule after. I'll show you in different places how we can go with that. Okay. So this is at the case label. We have saved this rule. Okay. So let's say I'll open that in the meantime. Okay. So go back to this life cycle. If you go to the stage, click onto this stage, you can see that it's looking for a SLA rule here. Okay. So we want that, okay, select product. Select product, we want to give that. It should be done within a day. Like whatever you have logged in, you have created your cart, and that should be done in a single day itself. You should not wait for 2-3 days to do the ordering and everything. So you want that the order, whatever the order you have selected, should be done in within a day. Okay. So let's say for that you can create your own. You need to create a separate SLA rule and you need to mention it here. Okay. So you can say selection SLA. Okay. So if we click onto that, it will ask you to create a new rule here. Okay. Yeah. So that's actually, you can see by default the name will be PY case type default. Okay, that actually which we have defined in the case label, it will be the same name. You cannot change the name of it at the case label. Okay, but here you can give your own name. Okay. So this is actually which is created the case label. So you can see that we have given the goal as 5 days and deadline is 7 days. Okay, and past deadline, how we want to recur that. Okay, so this is actually your past deadline. How many times you want to occur that? So if you say I want to occur that 4 times. Okay. So in urgency, that's actually like if you want to increase urgency by again 10. And if you say every 1 day, I want to do that. Okay. So past deadline is actually started after the deadline only. It started actually after the deadline, and both goal and deadline start when the work item is created. Both actually, like it will be start with that, if this will be start with that. Okay, so your work item is started, both goal and deadline is started with that. If it is done with the goal, it's fine. And after that 5 days goal is braced. After 7 days deadline is braced. And after 7 days it will again calculate 1 day once more. Okay, it will calculate after the deadline what's the next 1 day. It will calculate that, and so if you see given it 4 times, so next 4 days it will do that. Okay, the assignment will be increased, urgency will be increased, and it will check this in there. And there are multiple things you can see it here. What the initial urgency? Okay, assignment, right? See, sometimes what happens is when we assign the assignment, right? So sometimes it may take that we cannot start it on immediately, right? We need to wait for that. So there are multiple options. We can define the when we want to start the SLA. It's actually like it based on immediately, on based on a property, or based on some time delay. Like if you say once it was assigned, after 4 hours only we want to start that. Or if you want to, like immediately we have assigned that, we want to start the SLA. Or based on a property value, dynamically we want to do that, that also we can do it. Okay. So if you say it's like based on this, it will ask you which property you want to set it here. So that property value, you can set it there. So based on the property value, the SLA will start with that. Okay. And the same thing in this, the constant value, you are writing the 5 days, right? So it's also depend that, like if you want to set up based on a value of a property dynamically, you can do that as well. Okay, so here it will ask you, this is disabled, and now based on the property value, you want to do that. So sometimes it is required, right? See, actually, like what will happen is, so when you have purchased a item, if it is like date of purchase is like based on the timing. If it is before 12, it will be delivered in same day. If it is after 12, it will be delivered in next day. Okay, and it depends on if it is outstation, it may take more time, right? So that all the things you can want to define in the runtime. So that way you can set the goal property. So that based on a property value, the purchase request can be, we can adjust that. Yeah, just a minute. Okay. So that's actually like based on the property also you can set it. So time and let me see in the 4. Okay. Oh, everything is reset with that. Okay. Now, one thing actually we can increase the agency. Another thing we can do is we can do multiple actions. Okay. So we can apply data transform. We can call the flow. We can advance the flow. We can notify the assignee. We can notify the manager. We can notify the work parties. We can transfer the case to someone else, or we can run an activity. So these are the different options can be done now. Okay. So that's actually we say in here we want to notify the assignee who is actually assigned the task. We want to do that. Okay. So by default, it's actually using this activity. Okay. So let's say in case of deadline, we want to notify we can notify both. So let's say we want to notify the assignee. Also, we want to do that, notify the manager. Okay. So this also, yeah. So that's the different action if you want to take it. If in case of SLA got breached, we can do that. Okay. And one more thing is the business calendar, right? Actually, like you want to include the business days. Like if it's Saturday, Sunday is off, you can include that as a business days while calculating the SLAs as well. Okay. Yep. So that's the thing we can do in the SLA rule. Okay. So same thing, actually, like we have defined that one more rule. So let's just give the values here. So this is actually for selection. We want to like within the 12 hours, it need to be done, or either in deadline will be 24 hours. Okay.
So this is a clear stage label. And then within that, if you have multiple process, currently this is a one process, so it will be fine. So that's you can see that this is also one process level. Also you have an SLA rule here. Okay. Yeah. So here also you can define your SLA rule. So that selection SLA is there. So that's the stage label. This is your define at the process level, and then you have in the each individual assignment also we have goal and deadline. So here you can see that in each assignment also we have goal and deadline. Okay. So you can see that in the custom it is going to create SLA rule by itself. So here we say you want to notify the assignee. Notify the manager. So this will, if you save this, it will going to create a SLA rule now. Yeah. So normally, like if you say that flow, right? Stage one. Oh, this is something else. This should be select product. Oh, select product, we don't have that. Okay, let's. Okay. Okay, like what happened, like if you see here, somewhere it was removed. Yeah, see, this is a problem with Pega. Sometimes like when you do in this way, it will not take that. Okay. And where actually, oh, nothing is stored now. This is actually like assignment level 1. Service level cannot be planned. Is it here? When we have, I think it's removed from here. No, it's here. Strange. Okay. It actually like it's saved with this problem. Once if we do it, remove this and put it once again after that. so it will work with that. Now it's fine. So it's actually like is there. You can just save it. So actually, like just in information, when you are working on Pega, okay, keep on save your task, right? Sometimes what happens is actually like there is a dependency. Okay, you are working on multiple things, and you have not saved one thing, but there is a dependency of that on the other places. So sometimes because this is an automated tool, sometimes we will face some issue with that. Okay. So it's always a best practice to save your task. Okay. Actually, like if once you have done any part of that, just save that. So now if you see, we have saved our rule, and if you go to manager, we'll see now every time actually in the below you will see SLA is due. Now it will coming for the next time. It will display it here. So let's say we want to create the purchase. Okay. You can see now you are seeing the 1 day from now, right? That is actually we have defined that in the process. So that is coming. That is in the green because we have time. If it is not time, it will be showing red. And you can see the deadline is showing here, due in 2 days from now. Okay. And here also you can see at the case label. So it's the goal is 6 days. Deadline is 9 days. Okay. We have given 4 and 7. So how it's showing 6 and 9 here? We have given I think 4 and 7. It's adding 2 days in that. It should not do. Might be somewhere it's like it's getting some issues with that. Okay. So that's actually like you can see now after 2 days if you'll see this one, and if you have not done this in the audit we'll see the message like it is breached. So currently like if you can see in here we have just seen the who has just created. Okay. So SLA is you can see it here like, and then once actually it will cross that, it will like based on the escalation action, it will action on that, and it will increase the urgency as well. So you can see that current urgency is 10. Once is the urgency got placed, it will increase the urgency as well, and then the escalation action will be taken on that. Okay, so that's your SLA part of it. Okay, any question? Keshwan, Jacob, any questions on SLA? Oh, thanks, Keshwan. So it's actually like clearer on that, right? Okay. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do one more thing. Okay. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, so now we have seen the SLAs, okay, like how we can go for different type of SLAs within the PEGA, right? So most of the things now we have created many things, right? Now it's like DT and then declare constraint, descent table, descent tree, map value, validation, okay, different type of case type, correspondence rules, right? Activities. Then we have seen the paragraph rules. We have seen the different sections rules as well. Within the sections, we have seen some of the different controls and all that stuff. Okay. So in UI, actually, okay, in tomorrow's class, we'll do some more stuff on the reporting. Okay, we'll do the reporting, and then Thursday and Friday. Okay, Thursday, Friday, actually this week I'll be not available. I have actually some personal emergency. So Thursday and Friday there will be no class, and then we'll meet on Monday. Okay, we'll do this tomorrow, and Thursday and Friday I'll be not there. So we'll meet back on Monday. Okay. Yeah. So I'll tell you one more concepts. Okay. This is actually very much important. So that is we call as delegation. Okay. What you mean by delegation? What do you mean by delegation? Anything actually like delegate, right? What that word means, delegate? Delegate is yeah. Actually, like if you say, like see, I'll give you one a way to understand that. Okay. See, you are going to create a product, right? Like it is software. So after you have created the software, there are some configurations you do, right? Actually, like some of the settings based on some of the parameter, the product works differently, right? So based on that parameters, if the business wants to change that parameters, right? Something the parameter, if it is like based on the parameter, if it is already coded there, so if they include a new parameter, that will work fine with that, right? So if you say the products, right? So now what actually happened is they got 5 new products to them. Are they going to do a IT change, or actually they will go to the IT team to they want to add new product? No, right? If actually something is that's required, if they're going to add the new product, it will should be auto picked up from that. Actually, for that they don't go for, so every day they are going to get the new products, right? Actually, some company they will go into new product, new price, or the quantity may need to be come, and like inventory, the new products will come. So how they are going to maintain that, right? They need to maintain the new category or actually like that. So that thing, if we give an option to the user, right? Like the business user to make the changes. So we are going to delegate the rules so they can make changes to the some of the rules. Like the decision table, right? So decision table also, let's see, you are going to check the different amount, right? You are going to give the percentage. So now in future, like if they want to change it, right? So they want say the quantity amount they want to just see to reduce to 3, right? So they will just they can do it there as well. So based on that, they can check it performance of that. So this rule, like there are various rule which is they want to make the changes, they can able to make that from their end as well. Okay, so that's the concept is PEGA is called as delegation or build for change. Okay, so business doesn't need to involve IT people that much. Okay, so without IT involvement, some of the rules can be modified once it was go live. Okay, so that concept will mainly called as delegation. Okay, so for the delegation, one thing, okay, see if they are going to make the rule change, right? So the rule set which will be there, it should not be logged, because in the log rule set they cannot make changes, right? So for that, what actually like in PEGA is provided that we normally we called as production rule set. Okay, so every application. So if you see here, you open the application rule, you will see the concept of advance. Within the advance, you will see a production rule set. Okay, so normally what we do is when we deploy the product to higher environment, we don't log this rule set. So here you can see that we can create a new rule set, delegated rules. Okay, so that we are going to okay. So that's exactly I want to save that. So that's the new rule set I created, and this is the separately I created. So that's it. Like what I need to do is I need to give this rule set to the access group. Which access group going to modify? So let's say we want to give it to manager. Okay. Currently this is your admin. So now actually like if we just show you that okay we are doing with the admin only. So let's say in advanced tab you will see yeah, production rule set. You can see it here, right? So there you need to mention the delegation rule set. Okay. Yeah. So first you need to save the application. Okay. Then we need to save the access group. Okay. Now also what we need to do is we need to save this rule also into the uh, delegated rule set now. So here you can see that earlier this was not coming, production rule sets. So it was there, so it will take the delegated rule set now. So we need to copy that into delegated rule set. Okay, currently like I need to check out that the decision table, check amount here. Check in. Okay. Now we can go with Savage. Okay. So this actually we are going to set it into the production rule set. And just create the same. This instance already exists. Oh, it's already created there. Oh, just a minute. Check total. Yeah, it's already created. Yes, yeah. We don't want to create it once again. So it's actually we can see it's the part of delegated rule set. And if you see now in the case of action, you will see a delegate option. Click onto the delegate. Okay, so whom you want to give the access. Okay, so we say administrator. Okay, you can write to manage discounts based on amount. Okay, so I delegated it. Okay, so now it's actually access to that access group. If we go now, if I'll open the manager portal, I'll see a different one here. See configuration. Earlier it was not there, configuration. Okay, so once actually one access group had some rules delegated, the configuration tab will become here. Okay, so we'll click onto the configuration. So now you can see that what the title I've given, manage discount based on amount. Okay, so I can able to edit that now. So if you click on edit, it will open the decision rule here itself to me. Okay, so I can make changes to here as well. The business people can make changes to it. Okay, I need to check out. So once it's check out, so same provision I need to do that. Okay, so let's say I want to make it 3 and I saved it and I can check in now. Updated quantity. So this, whatever the changes you made it here, you can reflect the same here as well. So if you say you want to replace the same, so you have made that changes into by the manager. So that you can see it here. It also updated into the designer studio if in that one. So it will work now with the 3 quantity. It will return you true 2. Okay. So you have many options. You can run that and you can test it also. Oh, there's no option to test it here. Only thing that like you can change the value here. It's no option to showing running the value. Okay. So this is actually like you can delegate all like different local storage, decision tables, when rules. Okay. Then you have a template like email templates, right? So email template, because see, email template is not going to change any business functionality, right? So that will be remain same. So what you need to do is you need to provide just the name of it. So the body of the correspondence template, if you want to make any changes, then they can able to make the changes in the template. Okay, so that can be delegated. Then SLA rule. So in future they want to make the change onto the SLA rule, they can delegate the SLA rule as well. So let's say we have created many SLA rule now. So let's say we want to delegate them as well. Okay, so if you go to the purchase, then in the process, so if you see correspondence, so if you say I can delegate that as well. So this is I delegated. Okay, so that's done. Oh, sorry. Okay, similarly, we have SLA. let's say we want to give you, this is the assignment level SLA, okay, and we want to delegate now. So normally currently like this access group is there, so normally like it's coming with that now, but as a best practice we should move this rule to production rule set and do it. Okay. Yeah. So let's see now if you go back, let's see, I'm just closing that and you can refresh this. Now you can see all the three here. Okay. So if you click onto the email, it will display the template for me here. Okay. If I'll do the manage discount, this one will be displayed, and if I'll go with the SLA, it will display me the SLA rule now here. I can make the changes now here. Okay. Yep. So this is actually your delegation. So these changes can be done from the business end, and you no need of any IT change for this. Okay. So that's the concept of delegation, and some of the rules which is there will be no option of delegation. So somewhere see you'll not see delegation. Okay. So like if you see case type, okay, you'll not see the delegate option there because that should not be delegated. The rules which actually like as part of that, like which can be managed by the business without any IT change, that rule should be part of delegation. Okay. It's like the UI rule. UI rule, if you want to give them, it should not be good practice to give them. Okay. So let's say we have display purchase list. So there also you will not see that option, delegate option. Okay. So normally like the rule which can be managed by the business should be part of the delegation category. Okay. Yeah. So that's actually all about the delegation. Okay. So we'll stop now, and tomorrow we'll continue with the reporting. Okay. We'll continue with the reports. What are the different type of reports in PEGA available and how we can generate the same. Okay. 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 So we'll see you on tomorrow's. Okay. Bye-bye. Hi Jacob, bye Keshwan, bye Ashok.